Fellow Nigerians, it is with a deep sense of responsibility that I stand before you today to discuss the issues of our national development. It is quite sad and disheartening that despite the fact that Nigeria is the richest country in Africa today, we are still struggling to feed ourselves. We are struggling to move forward. Our people, many of them, still live below poverty line. And that is why I'd like to share with you my 9-point agenda if I were the president of Nigeria. Number 1 on my agenda will be the development of a constructive and comprehensive vision and developmental plan for our nation. Nigeria today seems to have been left to float on the waters. We are floating on the waters of planlessness, visionlessness, and directionlessness. There is no nation that moves forward, that advances without a clear-cut plan for development. That's what is obtainable in countries like China, in places like Dubai, in places like the United States and the UK. These people are serious about their development and they have a developmental plan and they are following the plan. That's the first thing we need to do as a nation. We need to have a plan. We need to know exactly where it is that we are going. Number 2 is to constitute a sound management team. It's high time we put a stop to putting people in the federal cabinet simply based on party loyalty. That's one of the reasons why we do not have the best hands at the helms of our affairs. We need to get to that point where everyone who is on the federal cabinet is an expert in his or her field. There must be people of proven track record. There must be people of excellent performance in their fields of endeavor before they can be called upon to serve our nation in different capacities. There will be 4 categories of people represented in my cabinet. Number 1 will be Nigerian experts who are in diaspora. We need to bring them back. Number 2 will be Nigerian experts who are based in Nigeria. We need to tap into our resources. We need to bring the best brains on board. Number 3 will also be women. We need women. We need the perspectives of women in the management of the affairs of our nation. And my cabinet will have 25% women representation. Then the last but not the least, we also be the young people. Our young people need to be trained in the management of a nation. They need to be trained in governance. They need to, those of them who have also distinguished themselves in different fields of endeavor also need to be brought on board to play their part in national development. And my cabinet will also have 25% youth representation. The third thing on my agenda will be the welfare of our people. Our constitution says that the primary purpose of government shall be the welfare and security of the people. Today it appears as if that's not the case, but we need to get back to that fundamental root of the purpose and the function of government. And in welfare, I have my eyes on food security, education, health, poverty alleviation, and the human capital development. It is appalling and it is unacceptable that as it is today, Nigeria is not self-sufficient in food production, both in crop and animal production. We need to up our game. We need to ensure that we pay attention to agriculture and food security in this nation. Number 2 is education. We need to revisit our curriculum, both at the secondary school level and at the tertiary institutions. Presently, our education is tailored towards raising or producing technicians. The time has come for us to shift from producing technicians to start producing or to start raising producers for the economy. We need to raise graduates who are competent, who are confident that they can become producers, they can become entrepreneurs when they get into the market. They should be people who can add value, who can create value in the economy. And number 3 is our health. It's high time we put a stop to medical tourism. There is no big deal in the development of healthcare system in Nigeria. We only need to be strategic and intentional about it. There are organizations, there are medical groups, foreign medical groups who will be willing to invest in our healthcare system provided there is an enabling environment. Also on our health, we need to strengthen our primary healthcare systems. The situation in which in our rural areas, our people cannot access quality healthcare. It is not unacceptable. This cannot continue. So we need to strengthen our primary healthcare system. We also need to strengthen our health insurance system. Paying out of pocket is not convenient, neither is it the best anywhere in the world. So we need to strengthen our insurance system and ensure that at least 90% of Nigerians are on our health insurance system. Now, still on welfare, we need to lift our people below poverty line. We need to empower people, ensure that nobody in this nation cannot feed themselves. There's nobody in this nation who cannot afford decent meals, who cannot get decent jobs. Then number 4 on my agenda will be security. The way security is in Nigeria today, has gone so bad that it is now difficult to travel, whether by road or by railway or sometimes even by air, because it looks as if there is crime everywhere. It looks as if our transportation systems are being sabotaged at every point in time. And again, security, to secure this nation is not a difficult subject. It's just insincerity of government that has led us to where we are today. Like Olusegun Obasanjo we say, former President Olusegun Obasanjo we say, in dealing with crime, we need to consider the carrot and the stick approach. A particular approach may not work all the time. Take, for example, the northern part of Nigeria, where we have banditry and we have terrorism at an all-time high. We cannot only apply the stick in that kind of situation. We also need to apply the carrot. And what do I mean by the carrot? When our children are idle, when our children are hungry, when our children are not in school, it's not going to be difficult for them to get involved in crime. If we take adequate care of our children, if our children are adequately empowered to take care of themselves, if our children have hope for the future, they will not take to crime. I strongly believe that. So we are going to take care of security. Number 5 on my agenda will be critical infrastructure development, starting with electricity and energy generation, water supply, telecommunications, information communication and technology, our banking, and finance. We need to strengthen critical infrastructure, our railways, our road, our highways, our ports, and also our airport. It is quite ridiculous that despite our huge population in Nigeria, we are struggling to generate 4,000 megawatts of electricity as a country. This is highly unacceptable. Our neighbors in Ghana, despite having a population of about 32 million people, generate 4,000 megawatts of electricity. Our neighbors in South Africa, despite having just a population of 60 million, they are generating 57,000 megawatts of electricity. Nigeria, with our huge population, we are struggling to generate 4,000 megawatts of electricity. And I also don't believe that it is impossible. I simply think that it is lack of commitment and lack of vision. It is the fact that the present-day government does not see the importance of electricity. If you know the importance and you realize the importance of energy supply in the nation, we will not joke with our electricity. We will not be losing our companies or factories that should be operating in Nigeria. We will not be losing them to neighboring countries. So we need to pay attention to our critical infrastructure. Number 6 on my agenda will be economic advancement of this nation. A prosperous people is a happy people. And when we talk about economic advancement, we need to look at it from 2 sides. We need to look at it from the offensive side and also from the defensive side. What I mean by the defensive side is the blockage of loopholes and them combating corruption. That seems to be the song of this current government. I wouldn't even say that they have done so well in that regard. But then, a nation cannot advance only on defensive economic policies. You cannot advance as a nation just because you are blocking loopholes or you are stopping corruption. Okay, for example, when President Olusegun Obasanjo came into power in 1999, our foreign reserves were just a little bit above $4 billion. By the time he was leaving government in 2007, in May 2007, our foreign reserves has grown by close to 1,000% to $43 billion. Presently, our foreign reserves is about $39 billion. Now imagine, 2007 to 2022 is about 15 years. And we have, instead of moving forward, we have rather retrogressed. So we need to pay attention to our economic advancement, not just defensive, but also offensive. And when I say offensive, I mean we also need to diversify our economy. We cannot rely only on petroleum or crude oil alone. We need to look at agriculture. We need to look at tourism. We need to look at hospitality industry. We need to look at commercialization of different sectors of our economy. Then number 7 is industrialization and job creation. We need to create jobs. But again, let me also quickly say here that it is not the responsibility of government to employ people. Government simply does not have the capacity or should not concentrate on employing people. What government should rather do is to create an enabling environment for the private sector to employ people. So we need to embark on industrialization. And one of the ways by which we can do that is to ensure that things that we consume in this nation are produced locally. Our clothing, our shoes must be produced locally. The fans that we use in our homes should be produced locally. The air conditioners that we use in Nigeria should be produced locally. If we ensure that the things that we consume, even starting with at that level, the things that we consume, if they are produced locally, there will be jobs for people in Nigeria. Then number 8 on my agenda will be justice, order, and then the rule of law. In my government, there will be nobody who is above the law. In my government, there will be nobody who cannot be touched by the law. If you commit an offense, you must face the consequences of your crime. It's also important to ensure that our justice system, our justice delivery system, goes on with speed, or goes smoothly with speed. Justice denied, as it is often said, justice delayed rather, is justice denied. We need to strengthen our judiciary system to ensure that justice is delivered rightly and it is delivered on time. And then number 9 is we need to strengthen our institutions. Institutions like the Nigerian Police Force, the Nigerian Immigration Service, EFCC, ICPC, the NAFDAC, and a host of others. We need to strengthen and sanitize these institutions. We need to run a nation where things run not on individual opinion or idiosyncrasies. We need to run a nation where things go on based on principles, based on institutions. A person, an individual should not be above an institution in this nation. Fellow Nigerians, if I'm elected or if I were to be Nigerian president, these are the things I will pay attention to as president. I will pay attention and ensure that we are running with vision and developmental plan. I will pay attention to constituting a sound management team. I will ensure that the welfare of our people is a top priority. I will pay attention to security. I will ensure that we develop critical infrastructure. We will put plans, we will put policies to make sure that we are advancing economically as a people. We will ensure there's industrialization and job creation. We ensure that there's justice, order, and rule of law, and we will also strengthen and sanitize our institutions. Thank you very much for watching. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and God bless you.